sometimes people say inspiration comes to the prepared mind. And in one sense, my mind was prepared. So that when I opened that book and began reading that chapter on social capital in Jim Coleman's book, this is not much of an exaggeration. I instantly saw the next 30 years of my career. I could see how powerful the concept of social capital was. I understood it. I know I'm patting myself on the back, but I did understand at a pretty deep level why this concept. It was not just another label for nice things. It had behind it, and this has not yet been explored enough in my view, behind it a deep theoretical, I don't mean historically, but I mean underneath it was a deep, powerful theory. I'm going to get to that in a second. And I could see, wow, that theory could apply to a lot of other things. And I actually saw right away that it could apply to a problem I was concerned about in America, which is American democracy was just not working very well. And so a lot of my books on America after that, I know I'm sounding like I had a blinding, conversion experience like Paul on the road to Damascus, if you know Christian history. It was actually a little bit like that, actually, because I became a social capitalist. Sorry, Foundations of Social Capital, you're right. That's the word, that's the book by Jim Coleman that I'm talking about. Thank you, Jeremy. So now let me say what I mean by social capital. And there were a few mistakes I made along the way. I'll mention them as we go, but basically I think Jim Coleman made one important conceptual error, and I followed him for a while on that. I'm going to get to that in a second. But basically, what I'm going to describe is Jim Coleman's conception. And for me, the core idea of social capital are social networks and the associated norms of reciprocity. Reciprocity just means I'll do this for you if down the road you do this for me, or at least down the road you'll do something for somebody else and they'll do something for me. That's the idea of reciprocity. And the core insight of social capital theory, from my point of view, is simply that social networks have value, period. That's the very, I'm embarrassed to say that, but that's my core concept of social capital. Social networks have value. They have value for individuals. They have value for people in the networks.